Namaste and welcome to the Influence Academy with myself, Anisha. I hope you enjoyed this episode brought to you by Extra Tech and 3B's Education and Migration. And today's fifth episode, I'm sharing an audience with one of the top mortgage brokers in Australia who followed his passion to be in the position that he is right now, who has been chosen as a winner and a finalist among numerous prestigious accolades, among which he was recognized as top 30 brokers under the age of 35 by Mortgage Professional Australia's Young Guns of 2019, and also nominated as a finalist at Australian Mortgage Awards 2020 as Young Gun of the Year Independent, which will be held on October 16th this year. And today he's here with us sharing his informative lessons in a hope that it inspire us and our viewers. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Mohit Lal Pradhan. Hello, Mr. Mohit, how are you?
I'm doing very good, and you?
Good. I'm so
Awesome.
glad to welcome you in our program.
Thank you, and thank you for the invitation as well. It's really appreciated.
Well, thank you so much. I want to start our episode with a very basic question. So, what is mortgage broking?
Mortgage brokering is a professionals who would help you to buy a home. So whenever you're going with a home buying journey, there are a few professionals that you have to deal with. One would be a conveyancer, who will help you to organize ownership of the property. Another would be like mortgage brokers. So pretty much our job is to help you get a loan from the bank.
Okay.
So you have certain amount of deposit on you,
okay, and
then you need certain amount from the banks to purchase the property, right?
Okay.
So based on your current situation, your income, your financial position, we do assessment, and then we'll recommend you best lender to go ahead. We tell you about what products and stuff. So that's pretty much mortgage brokering in short.
So you've been in this field, mortgage broking and home loans since back in Nepal. So it's been your passion all along. So how did you all start?
Actually, the company that I work for is Home Loan Experts. Yep. So we do have home loan experts back in Nepal as well. So what our company is really smart. So they offshore a lot of Nepalese employees back in Nepal as well. So there is almost, I think, 200 staff now in there. So I was one of them. So I was a loan processing specialist before.
Okay.
My job was pretty much, I was like an assistant for brokers.
Back in Nepal?
Back in Nepal, yeah. Okay. So I was just like an assistant. Okay. My job was to pretty much fill up the application forms, call the banks, do a follow-ups, and to check how is it going in regarding to the loan application, and just keep brokers updated. After that, I slowly got promotions back in Nepal in itself. Then I decided on 2017 February to come to Australia for education, for my studies, right?
So you studied masters in marketing?
Yeah, I studied masters in marketing. Definitely, marketing is one of the field that I really wanted to mastering in a sense. Okay. So I came here to study masters in marketing, and then. After that, initial stages, I didn't have any job. So it's not that I got a job guarantee back from Nepal. I had to quit my job back there, and then I had to come here. However, since I had a background of how these loan things work, I had definitely a lot of advantage over other people, just because I've already worked in this field. Luckily, what happened was my company, since I was a good performer back in Nepal as well, when I was working as an assistant broker and loan processing specialist, my manager recommended me to hire here. I couldn't do a full-time job just because I was a student. Okay. However, what happened was they gave me like 20 hours job, right? And they didn't have a role for me, to be honest. They didn't have a particular role to be hired on. It's just that they didn't wanted to let me go. Okay. So luckily, they provided a position called a training assistant. Okay. Yeah. So after that, what happened is I joined there as a training assistant. My job was to just sit there with the trainer, do some photocopies here and there, and just help new brokers that has been recently hired in their training program. So it's a long story though. It's a long story. Do you want me to tell you the story? So when I got hired as a training assistant, it's just that I didn't want it to stay on the training assistant role. Okay. Just literally paid me like what, $21, $22, and it's not enough, right? Like
you were gaining experience. You were gaining experience in the Australian business market. I mean, it was pretty new for you.
Exactly. it wasn't very new for me.
Was it different from Nepal? I mean,
It was different from Nepal. So in Nepal, you are just an assistant.
was it different in Nepal and Australia?
Initially, I was just like a training assistant.
Okay.
So my job was just to photocopy stuff and like just do some tick marks that the broker fill in, the new broker the new broker that were being hired.
Okay.
But what I figured out was like, when my trainer was training these guys, I was sitting there. I was listening to each and every conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. When I left Nepal, one of my mate, he's also a broker. He's also one of the top broker now, Romy.
Okay.
So we had a chat, right? And I say to him, hey Mohit, hey Romy, I'm gonna go to Australia now, and because he has been in Australia before, so I was just getting a bit of a recommendation of him, yeah. Saying, okay, what kind of job should I apply for and stuff, and maybe I should get a barista training and thing. And this guy said that no, Mohit, like if you are going to go there, do a kitchen jobs or like just normal cafe jobs, it's not going to be enough for you. You'll not have enough money to pretty much pay your fees. You have to, you'll not be able to live in a proper situation. You'll have lack of, the money will be a major shortage, and you will work like you have to work hard even on those positions. Yeah, and he said, just think big. Yeah, just you do have a bit of experience in this industry. Just go for mortgage brokering. Learn, like take a while. It will take you a year, 2, maybe 3 years. Just don't get sidetracked.
Okay.
Yeah, even if you have to do side jobs, do it, but focus on this. Yeah, that gave me a vision actually. And then even before coming to Australia, I literally downloaded banks policies.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is like 30 different banks that we work with. Yeah. And like top 5, 4, 10 banks, I downloaded their major policies, a niche sheet, and then I read that in even in airport while I was flying.
Did it come easy to you, all the concept of finances and everything?
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It's like there's so many different banks. Everyone has their own personalities, own policies, and their own risk appetites. So it was more about reading and understanding these banks, right? I had a bit of a background in a sense. I was like filling up their online forms and stuff, but I didn't have in-depth knowledge of how to submit the loans and things, right? It was more about like just doing what broker told you before. So yeah, but like literally I read all these policies and stuff because I was preparing myself. I was thinking maybe for now, I may not be able to get a mortgage brokering job because I have to study and I can't do more than 20 hours, and brokering is like 12 hours a day job. Yeah, it's really it's really demanding. What happened is I prepared myself a little bit in there, but when I came across with these new brokers that was recently been hired, I figured out like they were just very brand new. They didn't even have like as much knowledge as I had, because I've already worked in this industry. I read the bank's policies, gave me so much confidence. Yeah, so I was teaching these guys. I was a training assistant. I was supposed to be like just a photocopy guy, and I was listening to this trainer speaking to them. I was being able to catch that so quickly because I already had the background. Yeah, but however, like these guys, the new they were just newly entering into the mortgage brokering industries, and they were asking questions to me, and then I'm like, okay, if these guys are going to be a broker and they don't even know as much as I do, yeah, you do, yeah. So why can't I be a broker? Yeah, like I think that gave me a confidence.
That's
like
so inspiring. Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, what I started doing was. So I couldn't just go and say, hey, I want to be a broker. Can you please give me a 457 visa and stuff? Because I had to prove, right? I had to prove that, I'm capable enough. And like Australian employers, they are more data driven. They want results. Yeah, they don't care about the education. Like my boss, like he doesn't care about education at all. It's more about what you can do. So what I did was I was a bit patient in a sense, like I didn't just jumped into it. I just tried to add a little bit more value to the organization. So what I did was, rather than just photocopying the stuff, I started, helping these guys out in regarding to a basic, basic lending policies, lending, filling up the forms and here and there that I already knew. So I was doing a little bit more than what my employer was asking me to do. Yeah. That training stuff, it ended in 1.5 months after I was hired. And what happened after that is like, okay, that job position is no more there. So I say to my employer, because at that point of time, one of the issue my employer was facing was a lot of broker were actually quitting the job. So there were not enough broker, but we had a lot of customers coming in. And
so what were the reasons for that?
It's just they did the internal restructuring, and you know, some of these brokers were uninterested. They just moved out, and they were hiring new brokers. So the problem was less broker. Yeah, lucky for me. Yeah, problem was less broker and more customers or online leads that we are getting, like a telephone leads we are getting. And those telephone leads though, like half of them are unqualified. And if broker has to speak to these unqualified leads, they are just wasting their time. And not wasting their time, but it's not being very efficient for them. Yeah. So I went to my employer. I said, okay, you know, like this training assistant stuff is done. What I can do for you is I can pre-qualify these customers.
Wow.
Yeah. So I said, hey, to my boss, hey, like, you know, yeah, I think I can do a lot more than what you're asking me to do, because I think I have this knowledge of how at least the basics of loan works. So what I did was I jumped into the phone queue. Yep. So all the Australian guys, all these Australian permanent resident and citizens who wants to buy property, they were directly coming to me now. So I'm filtering the leads for the brokers. Okay. Yep. So pretty much I'm giving good leads to the broker. Bad leads, I'm telling them what do you have to do in order to get a loan. Okay. So I'm pretty much doing broker's job already. Okay. And over the phone. Okay. Yeah. And every time I get a phone call, that gives me more confidence, because now I can speak to them in their language. I can understand their slangs. You know, like gave me a lot more exposure. And every time I get a scenario, I'm like, okay, if I can do it, that's perfect. I just transfer it. If that scenario is new to me, I call banks and then I try to figure out, okay, which bank can do it. Best thing that I've ever done, just because I now know so many different scenarios and so many different policies of the bank. I think anyone can do that. It's more about believing in yourself first, right? Like I can do it. So I had that actually. So I had that. I wanted to be a mortgage broker. I think I can do it. So when you believe that you can, you think that you can do it, you start acting like that. So you'll start acting like that in a sense. You'll start reading policies. You'll start reading, listening to the news of all these banks. Start speaking with these banks. So coming back to that story of how I became a mortgage broker from training assistant. So yeah, like I was doing these pre-qualifications and stuff. So that gave me a lot of confidence and, you know, a lot of exposures to the customer. Then what I did was like, you know, I just trying to add more value to these customers. I tried to just go to the brokers and then I say, okay, you know, like give me your file. I will do assessment for you, and then I'll give your lender. You can just review that, and then I can, you know, you can submit this application. So I did a couple of these kind of things to this. It's not that my boss were asking me to do this; it's just that I was doing it for the sake of learning. Okay. Yep. So I was just going to the broker saying, "Hey, can you give me some files? I can do assessment for you, just for the learning purposes." And I did that, and luckily, all these assessment that I did and all the lender that I said recommended, all got formally approved straight away. First go. One day at 12, somewhere around 12 a.m. at night, I emailed my boss saying that, okay, I came to Australia not to study, to be honest. I was just exploring for better opportunities here. I want to be a mortgage broker. What do I have to do? Mm-hmm. And I just literally emailed that at 12 a.m. to my boss. And then my boss said, yes, you deserve to be a mortgage broker, but in order to do that, you have to do this. So I actually completed whatever he said in like within a week or two time frame. He was very impressed. He asked me to do 2 more interviews. And then I just nailed that interviews luckily. And then yeah, like I was a mortgage broker by August 2017. So I joined the firm March 2017. I became a mortgage broker by August 2017, and they gave me like 457 visa, so I could work full time. And you know, after that, the story about
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history. Yeah.
So you were studying masters in marketing.
Yeah.
So did you do any other courses apart from that?
No, just master in marketing, and I did like Cert 4 for broking, so I had to get a license for my brokering.
Okay. What was the transition like that you came here from Nepal to Australia? Were there any challenges that you faced?
Oh, actually, it was really exciting for me, to be honest. Coming to Australia, I knew a little bit about Australia just because I worked for the company back in Nepal. But yeah, it was really exciting for me. It was not like I was homesick and stuff. I never used to stay at home as well. Like I was always traveling back in Nepal as well. So, and I was always busy because like I was studying, I was doing job and stuff. So no, it was really exciting for me to come to Australia, meet the new things. Everything is completely different here, right? Like when you come over here, like there's a lot of different learnings that you can do. First time I came to Australia, I didn't even know I had to press that button to cross the road. So, like starting from basics like that to what I am right now, understanding the Australian economy to banking policies.
Just in a couple of years. I mean, you were just here in 2017. It's not that
February. Yeah.
It's not that long.
Time is the very, like, I think most of the people, they really, don't value time much. Yeah. They think, okay, they have entire life to do stuff. Yep. And then, like they end up doing nothing at the end. Yeah. So for me, luckily I was aware that time is very, very crucial. Yeah, time, like I don't want to spend, I don't want to spend my time doing like watching maybe TVs or stuff. Rather, I would watch a documentary or some news that is related. Yeah. So yeah, I just didn't waste any time. Like I was like, okay, let's do this. After that, this. So when you have a vision, actually, because I had a vision, I want to be a mortgage broker in 3 years. Luckily, I did it in the same year. When you have a vision, what happens is like you are not scattered. Your energy is not scattered. So sometimes people are talking about, okay, I want to do this business, and then I want to do that. I want to do this. I want that. And they don't have clear vision, right? So they are stepping everywhere, and then they are slow because they are spending some time here. I had like direct vision that I wanted to be a broker, so I did it really quickly. I just learned the policy. I did whatever it needs to be a broker. So that's why it didn't take much time for me to be where I am at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the accolades that you've been recognized with. And people dream about following their passion and making it as a career, also getting recognized for it. And you are a prime example of that. And what was it all like? And could you tell us more about the awards?
Sure. So yeah, I've been lucky enough. Okay, I'll tell you this story as well. Hopefully that's a bit inspiring, or I guess. So when I was initially hired as a training assistant, as I mentioned, and my boss, he's the best guy. Yeah, he's very inspiring. He just listens to me. I love this guy, and he took me. He paid I believe $250 or something, and he took me to this award function. For the first time. Okay. Yeah, and I went there. I had to pay for the seat, to be honest. Okay. And then I was seeing all these top brokers out there, like winning awards, and it was really inspiring for me. And that gave me a vision, actually. That gave me a vision that okay, I think I can do this as well. I want to be a mortgage broker, and I want to win awards someday, or at least what I had at that point of time. Take it as ego or whatever, but like what I was saying to myself is, okay, I'm gonna come to this place, but they are gonna invite me. Okay. I'm not gonna pay for the fees. They are gonna invite me. Luckily, a lot happened the same year. The next year, so 2017, I paid for the fee. 2018, I was nominated as a finalist for Best Newcomer of the Year awards. Same year, I was nominated as a finalist for Young Gun of the Year by Adelaide Bank on Australian Mortgage Awards. Yeah. I was featured in a magazine, MPA magazine. Mm-hmm. I was a winner on MPA Young Gun. So there is so many young guns happening because that's what I qualify for. Yeah, so young guy doing massive sales. So there was another MPA Young Gun that's different to this AMAs. So I actually won that. So I was amongst top 30 brokers. So I'm amongst top 30 broker under 35 years old in Australia. So that's recognition. And a year after, on 2019, I again got nominated for it's organized by NAB, so it's ABA Awards. I got nominated as a Rising Star broker. Again, I got finalist as Young Gun of the Year 2019 as well. Okay. And Unfortunately, I wouldn't say unfortunate, but like, I was finalist, which is amongst being there, just being there and invited by these guys to sit there, and then like being amongst top 7 and amongst all these thousands of brokers out there.
Yeah.
It was a great thing, and like I didn't win any of these awards though. But like, yeah, it was just being there, calling these big people, calling your name out there, was amazing. So I pretty much got nominated, like I think on 5 different awards, and there's one more coming in this October. It's again Young Man of the Year award. This award I lost it last time.
Okay.
However, this year I'm hopeful that I'm going to win it, because my conversion last year I was only doing like 36 million. This year I did 61 million in settlements. Okay. So my conversions are good now. My numbers are massive. So I'm expecting a good result. But yeah, let's see what happens.
So as you said, you were featured in one of the leading magazines in the mortgage industry, Mortgage Professional Australia.
Yeah.
And the article highlighted your achievements and your future plans. So in that article that you stated, and you started submitting 2 million worth of loans per month in the beginning.
Yeah.
And now your future plan, and now you settled around 60 million worth of submissions.
Yeah.
So could you tell us in brief your motivation and your plans that made it all possible? Like, how did you raise the bar?
So yeah, for you to, like, 60 million is definitely a very massive volume. So I think it puts you to top 3% of Australian brokers, not even young. Like, I'm talking about all the brokers in Australia. Yeah. So 60 million is actually a good number. But for that, yeah, you definitely need a lot of motivation. In a sense, you have to be very consistent. Yep. So you can't just slack off. Even one day is very expensive. Yeah. So you have to constantly wake up at 7, go to the work till 7, 12 hours every day. Yep. So motivation was pretty much, like sometimes you're up and down, but like having a really good friend circle helped me a lot.
Having said that, I just want to ask you just a quick question. Yeah. What's your whole day itinerary? Like, what do you do whole day? I mean, what do you work?
My schedule.
Yeah, schedule. Yeah.
So I normally try to wake up at 6:35 a.m. in the morning. 6:30. So I do have all these like I'm pretty much like a robot in weekdays. Okay. So I wake up normally at around 6:35 to 7. Then I take a cold shower, just because it wakes you up from your sleep cycle. So the REM sleep cycle. Sometimes like sometimes when you wake up and you still feel tired, Yep. So it's because you are in a deep sleep cycle. Yeah. So when you take a really cold shower, it just wakes you up like anything, because you need to be charged to sell, to to do what I'm doing. Yeah. So I take a cold shower after that, and then I do meditation, and a meditation for 15 minutes, because it just like, as mentioned, like all these energy that all the thoughts that's scattered, it just the meditation helps me to bring it in one place, so that I'm present. Yeah. So whatever I'm doing, I'm giving my 100%. Yep. So I'm not wasting any more time. After that, I do a bit of a journaling, in a sense. It's something called manifestation. Have you heard of it? Okay. Yeah. So I do journaling. So I'll say, okay, today I'm gonna have the best day of my life. Today I'll get really good leads. I will all my loans will be approved. Okay. So I start with a lot of positive affirmations for me. So I say, okay, today is gonna be a good day of my life. Today is gonna be a very good day for me. My loans will be approved. I'll have the best clients seeing me today and stuff. So it just puts you in a positive vibration. You are positive now. You know what you wanna do in the day. Because and then after that, I go to office. I work till 12 hours. After that, I go gym, and then go home, cook food, and then sleep. And then the cycle repeats till weekdays.
Okay. Yeah. And what about your professional day? I mean, what do you do in your office? I mean, what's your schedule like?
Schedule, right? Yeah. So normally try to start at 8. So 8 till 10, I don't take any phone calls, because that time is about doing tough jobs, like hard assessments. It's about doing like difficult loans, and I don't want any interruption. So just take it as if you get a phone call, you're doing a job. If you get a phone call, and if your attention goes there, and then you take a phone call, or maybe not, and then you try to go back, you're wasting 5 minutes to get back to the same level. Okay. So first 2 hours is about doing focused work, not talking to anyone. I have this headset of like a noise cancellation headset. I put it on. I don't speak to anyone. I just do my work. After 10 to 1 pretty much, I take new businesses.
Okay.
So that time is for the new business for me. Yep. So I take phone leads. I speak to I stay on a phone queue where you get leads and stuff. So it was more about new businesses. Then I do meeting with my 2 credit analysts that I have working under me. So like I do meeting with them at 2, and after that I have lunch at 1. Then 2 to 3, it's a meeting time. So, and after that, I give my time to existing customers, which means the customers that's already there, I've already submitted the loan. And after that, 5:30, again, it's about doing those focused work.
Okay.
Yep. So that's how I schedule. I try to schedule, but like it doesn't go as per plan. Like it's just you're getting calls from everywhere, you know.
Continuing your motivation and plans that made it all possible, could you tell us in brief a little bit?
Motivations and plans. Okay, yeah, the strategies, right? So I had like, even in that article, I think you can read there. So I had this 3-year strategy. So for me, the first year was all about getting into the business. Yeah, so it's more about understanding banks, understanding how to submit the loan to get it approved in the first go, as you mentioned. It was more about understanding the culture of Australia, how to deal with these guys, how to so it's more about that. So first year was all about getting to know the industry and trying to build some kind of recognition. Yeah, because I'm more like I don't meet my clients often face to face. It's more like phone calls. So when you have some recognition, they trust you. Yeah. Whereas they would say, okay, you're just an online broker. They don't trust you much if you don't have any recognition. So knowing that, first year was more about building and understanding. Okay. Second year was also about knowing more in a sense of like policy knowledges, and also getting to know the BDMs and the banks and trying to do a little bit of volume. After that, the third year is about submission. That's about volume. That's about just pumping up the business because you already have a reputation. You already know which bank helps and stuff. So that's where the first year I did 28 million, second year 36 million, third year 60 million. So it worked out well for me. So
there are a lot of Nepalese in mortgage industry. And some are successful and some are not. So what are the opportunities and challenges in this industry that you've known?
So opportunities are there. Challenges would be, the industry is frequently changing. Okay. So it's just changing like anything. So as soon as I step into the industry, it was not easy for me because on 2017, when I stepped in, APRA intervention came over. Yeah. Okay. So like APRA was pretty much, highly regulating the loans. So they were making it a bit difficult to get a loan. Okay. 2018, Royal Commission came in. Okay. And then, it just completely changed the way we do the loan, and banks were being very tough to deal with. Then after that, property market dropped down after Royal Commission because it was hard to get credit for people. So the thing is, and now COVID-19. Okay. So the entire picture changes every year, every new scenario, right? Like now the way I used to do loan back in 2018 is completely different to the way I do loan now. So it's about so there are so many challenges for sure, and you need to be on the top. You need to be constantly updating yourself, and it's not about you mastered it in one go. Mastery doesn't come like that, right? Like you have to constantly update yourself, constantly. So that's how I think you can tackle those challenges. But challenges definitely there.
Like you said, in 2019, according to the statistics, Australian housing prices were falling at the fastest rate in a decade. And now with the current pandemic, what is the situation like in the housing market?
So housing market, I'm not very expert on regarding to telling you regarding to how the property market will go and stuff. Yeah, I would make a lot more money if I knew.
Is this the best time to buy a house for first-time buyers? I mean, there are so many people looking forward to buying their first home in Australia. Yeah. So.
It's a very good question. Given the current market situation, if it's a first-home buyer, like government is giving so many grants, they are doing so many things like like first-home owner deposit schemes and stuff. So there are stamp duty waivers, all these things to help first-home buyers to get into the property market. Yeah, and I think if you are buying a home to live in, you shouldn't really care much about where the property market will go.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's really hard. Being a first-home buyer, it's really hard for you to predict at what point the property market will jump up. Because like right now, it seems like the property market is slightly dropping.
Okay.
So it's really hard for you to predict, the property market will drop further or not, or whether it will pick up or not. So if you are a first-home buyer, if you found a property that you like, if you found it on a right price, and then I would say go for it. Just because you are paying rent, which is equivalent to mortgage anyway,
yeah.
And why to pay someone else's mortgage than rather paying for your own house.
So how do you package your home loan application so it gets approved on the first time around?
So it's more about knowing knowing the key credit issues that every file has, and then going to the bank that accepts that credit issue. And it's about like providing all the sufficient information, making sure you're compliant, making sure you did your servicing and you speak to the bank upfront before even submitting the application.
Okay.
So that 90% certainty this loan will work before you even submit.
Okay. So if any individual would like to want to pursue their career in real estate or mortgage broking like you did, do they have to have some backgrounds, or how do they start? Where do they go?
I was lucky in a sense. I had a bit of a background before, but definitely people here looks into the experience. Yep. So I would say starting point would be like being some brokers support is a really good start point, or someone's assistant is a start point, because you'll have that knowledge, and then after that a couple of years you prove to these guys that you can do it. So rather than just saying, okay, I'm going to be a mortgage broker stepping in to this massive industry with so many challenges and stuff, I would say start with being an assistant. Then you don't limit yourself to just being an assistant. Okay. Just learn from them as soon as possible, as fast as possible, and then try to show them that you can now do mortgage broking as well. And then that's where they'll give you opportunity and smash all these opportunity that you get.
So we've come to the end of our episode, Mohit. Is there anything would you like to contribute that we missed to our viewers that we're watching currently?
Yeah, absolutely. What I would like to say is, whenever you come to Australia, and you're a student, you think that you're coming here speaking with those friends who said, okay, yeah, I'm coming here, all you do is kitchen hand and best job is barista and stuff. Like, don't listen to them. Maybe even if you have to do it, like for a short period of time, do it. But it's more about having that vision of what you want to be, and making sure you're taking the necessary action steps to do it. So if you want to be even like anything, like what fashion designer, just follow all the fashion designing pages, just try to work with them, like a fashion designer for free, like just tell them, okay, I just want to learn from you. So make sure you're taking all those necessary action steps, and surround yourself with positive person, someone that has a bigger vision. Because like if you surround yourself with someone who's less motivated, negative, who has limiting belief, they will drag you down. But rather, if your friend circle is all high professional, or at least very positive people, then these guys will push you to achieve what you want. So yeah, just have a bigger vision. Just don't limit yourself. And that's what I wanted to say. And like just go for it. Like there is no limitations. Luckily, I'm one of the example in this. But like, I think I'm just a really mediocre person. So I think all these smart Nepalese students who come here and stuck in these jobs in which they are not being able to show their utmost potential. I feel really sad for them. So just surround yourself with positive people. Just have a vision. Do this on side, but don't forget what you want to be. Because unless you have a vision, you are not gonna go anywhere.
Thank you so much, Mohit, for sharing your time with us on your busy schedule. Our entire Everest News team wish you all the best for your successful endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. On that note, we'd like to end our tonight's episode. Please stay updated in our Everest News Facebook pages, and please subscribe to our Everest News YouTube channel as well. Thank you so much for watching. Stay influenced, take care, and above all, stay safe.